Where Promises Die. Romance, betrayal, heartbreak, drama. The sea crashed hard against the shore of Cadiz, where Clara walked barefoot, feeling the salt on her skin and her heart more shattered than ever. It had only been 2 weeks since her world collapsed, but each day since felt like dragging years of solitude. Clara, 32, worked as an art restorer. She met Julian at an art exhibit in Madrid 5 years ago. He was a photographer, passionate about light and contrast, with a smile that seemed to promise forever. What began as coffee and an unhurried conversation turned into a passionate relationship. Julian moved to Cadiz to be with Clara in their 2nd year. They shared a sea-view apartment filled with plants, books, and photographs. They spoke of children, growing old together, opening a gallery. But, like all stories with too many promises, something began to fracture. Clara noticed it first in the silences. Julian no longer touched her hand with tenderness or looked at her with the same depth. She blamed stress and routine, until one night, preparing a surprise dinner, she found his phone vibrating on the table. She wasn't the kind to snoop, but a strange pull in her chest made her reach for it. A message lit up the screen. "I miss you, love. I dream of you tonight. Tell me we'll see each other soon." The sender, Elena. Clara's world fell apart. She opened the chat and saw months of messages, photos, love confessions, hotel meetings, and promises that used to be hers. That night she said nothing. She locked herself in the bathroom and cried under the shower. The next day, when Julian came home, she looked at him with terrifying calm. "Who's Elena?" she asked, voice firm. Julian didn't deny it. He lowered his gaze and said, "I didn't want you to find out like this." That was the final blow. No yelling, just silence. Clara asked him to leave, and he did no arguments, as if he knew he'd crossed an irreversible line. She became a shadow of herself. No eating, no sleeping. Just walking by the shore like the sea might return what was stolen. The betrayal wasn't just physical. It was the death of everything they built. Laughter, dreams, even his scent in the closet now mocked her. Days later, Clara received an email from Elena. "I'm sorry. I didn't know he was still with you. He said you were over. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know." She didn't reply. What good would it do? Weeks passed. Clara started painting again, going out, reconnecting. And then she met Mateo, a writer who rented a room near her new studio. Mateo was nothing like Julian, calm, honest, patient. He didn't try to fix her. He just stayed. They sat on the balcony, read together, shared silences. With him, Clara didn't feel the urge to forget. She found peace in remembering. One night, under moonlight, Mateo said, "I don't know if you can love me yet, or ever. But if one day you decide to trust again, I'll be here." Clara kissed him, softly, like touching something sacred for the first time. Not a declaration, just a step. And sometimes, a step is enough. But just as she believed the past was buried, Julian returned. He came to her gallery, pale and remorseful. "I failed you. I'm not asking for us to get back together. I just wanted to say I still love you." She listened. His voice no longer hurt. It was like looking at an old photo, nostalgic, but lifeless. "You loved the idea of me, not me. If you truly loved me, you wouldn't have lied." He nodded. He knew he was too late. That night, Clara walked the beach once more. The sea still raged, but it no longer pulled her down. It pushed her forward. In the distance, Mateo stood with 2 coffees and a timid smile. She finally understood. Promises may die, but one can love again, even after being broken. Where promises die. The night Julian returned, something stirred inside Clara. Not love, just memory. She couldn't sleep. The past whispered in the dark. The next day, while restoring a 19th century painting, her phone buzzed. A message from Julian. "I don't want us back. I just want one honest talk. Meet me where we used to go Sunday mornings." She hesitated. That evening, she told Mateo, "I'm not sure why I want to go. Maybe I need to say goodbye the right way." "If you must," he replied. "Just don't forget how far you've come." Sunday dawned gray. She found Julian on their old bench, coffee in hand. "I brought you one," he said. "Thanks, I already had some." They sat in silence. "I didn't know how to stop," he finally said. "At first, I was lost, and she made me feel alive, but all I could think of when I saw her was you. And yet, you kept going," Clara replied. "Because I'm a coward, and I knew you'd leave. I just didn't want to face it." She looked at him, no longer with hate, just clarity. You didn't come for forgiveness. You came to unload your guilt. He nodded, teary. You're right. But I also came to thank you for everything. I did love you. I just didn't know how. She breathed deeply. I loved you too, but now I need to love myself more. So thank you. And goodbye. She walked away, never looked back. Weeks passed peacefully. Mateo stayed by her side, but Clara no longer clung to him for healing. She loved him freely. Until one day, Mateo approached her with a serious face. I need to confess something. Her heart froze. I knew Julian. Before you. What? We met years ago at an exhibit. I knew about you. When I moved here, I saw him once. He recognized me. I didn't plan any of this. I didn't chase you. But when I realized who you were, I still fell for you. I should have told you sooner. Clara felt a familiar sting, another crack forming. Did you come into my life with a secret too? I swear, I didn't come with bad intentions. I just stayed silent, and now I see that was wrong. She stood, backing away. Don't do this to me. Not again. She didn't isolate this time. She painted. Wrote letters she never sent. Walked with her head high. And she understood. Betrayal isn't always cruel. Sometimes it's fear. But it's betrayal nonetheless. And more than forgiving others, we must never betray ourselves. Mateo came a week later, with a letter. Not to beg us to apologize. I'll be here if you ever choose to open your heart again. She hugged him. No rush, no promises. Not today. But if I ever do, I'll let you know. A year later, Clara opened her own gallery. Rebirth. Mateo was there, quietly supporting her. Julian? Just a name in a forgotten photograph. A ghost that no longer hurt. Because sometimes, true love begins after heartbreak.